Hi, everybody. Welcome to the weekly live update. It's so good to see you guys. Same deal goes. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me and if you're here, that you're here. So I'm so excited to talk to you guys. Dude, it has been a week, and we're going to talk about that too. So, hey, John. Hey, Josh. Hey, guys. Thanks for coming. Yeah. Bill, so good to see you. Mom. Hey, everybody say hi, Mom. My mom is here. So if you have not met my mother, I hope that you will get a chance to do so if we hang out at like a convention or something someday, because she is a badass and quite a character. My mom, let's see, I'm gonna give you the 30-second spiel on mom. Mom served 24 years in the Air Force. Is that right, Mom? Served 24 years in the Air Force as a JAG, and retired as a full colonel, 06, and now she lives on a ranch in South Dakota with her husband, my stepdad, and their horses and dogs and cats and anybody else, Mom? I don't know. I lose track of how many animals you guys have. But yeah, she's a sci-fi fantasy fan for sure. She's basically the reason that I got into science fiction and fantasy, because when I was about 7, I remember we were living out in Albuquerque, and I'm pretty sure like I was bugging her about being bored because she like shoved a copy of Anne McCaffrey's Dragon Drums into my hands and was like, "Here, this is for kids. Read this." And that's where it goes. That's where it started. So, hey, Ike. Hey, Seth. So good to see you guys. Oh man, yeah. Happy weekend, everybody. I think it's still Friday night for you, but it is, as usual, Saturday morning here. Oh, deer and foxes. Yeah, she's got deer and foxes up in South Dakota too. She sends me next week. If I think about it, if you guys want, I'll post some of the. Hey, Joy, I'll post some of the pictures that James, Mom's here. Wow, we could have fun with this. Yeah, we certainly could. You know what we could do if you guys wanted? Oh man, maybe I don't want to sign up for this. But we could do like a ask my mom anything type of scenario where you guys send in questions, and then I'll have my mom on a on a live stream, and then she can answer the questions about what it was like with adolescent Casey. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you'd be interested in. Mom says she's in, so I'm sure she'd relish the opportunity to embarrass me, as parents do for their children. So, but yeah, anyway, what I was saying was she sends me these gorgeous pictures of, like sunsets and stuff from her ranch. And next week I'll try and throw some of those on a slide and show you guys, because yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. South Dakota is a beautiful place. We thought about living there, moving there when we move away from Japan, and we were very, very close to it. In the end, we made the decision to go to Virginia just because of we were closer to, honestly, we're closer to more like conventions and things, and my husband wanted to be closer to his family as well, because his dad's getting a little bit older. So but yeah. So okay, well, happy live stream, guys. So y'all want to hear about my crazy week? This week it actually ended up being very good in the end, but it was kind of a roller coaster of emotion. So as you know, I'm preparing to retire from the Air Force and move from Japan, where I'm currently stationed. Hey, Beth, where I'm currently stationed to back to the United States, and we're buying a house in Virginia. And we're gonna live in it. So that if you've never moved it's in and of itself, even just like moving across town is a huge undertaking, right? You're uprooting your whole life, gathering all your stuff. I think I read an article once that said it's like one of the top three most stressful events that anyone can go through, like just under like death of a loved one or something like that. So it's a big deal. And when you're moving from an international location, when you're moving internationally from one country to another and crossing an entire ocean in between, it becomes, an order of magnitude more complicated. And when you add in like a huge career life change, such as retiring from the military, into that, once again, another order of magnitude of complication. So one of the things that I've been trying to do is really kind of get ahead of the game, right? And get my ducks in a row as early as possible. So I've been looking at things like, how am I going to, how are we going to get tickets to fly from Japan to Virginia? How am I going to get the cat from Japan to Virginia? Because if those, for those of you who, if you let me start over. If you receive my newsletters, then you've seen pictures of my boy Atlas, and he is just a very, very sweet orange boy, and he's part of our family, so we're definitely taking him home with us. But it's just the question of how do we arrange the logistics so that we can do that. And then what are we going to do about a car? And because we sold both of our cars before we came here, because we knew that we couldn't, we didn't want to try and ship one here to Japan. So just, one thing after another of hurdles to be, I mean, maybe he hasn't told me yet. So, but quite possibly this cat, side note, this cat, you guys, so I have a glass, like I have a sliding glass door in the living room, and my cat got in trouble because we let him go outside and explore. And last week he went to a neighbor's house and got in their yard. And according to the neighbor, who I don't know this woman, but this is what she posted on the community Facebook. She posted that Atlas attacked her dog and then ran inside her house, and she trapped him in her bathroom and then called security forces. So my husband had to go to her house and take our ownership paperwork and show it to security forces, and which are our base cops basically, so that he could take Atlas home, after Atlas had been locked in this woman's bathroom for who knows how long. So anyway, so Atlas was in trouble because he got arrested, and we were keeping him in the house for a week or so, and this kitty figured out how to open the sliding glass door. Yeah, without thumbs. So yeah, pretty much it's his house now. So it's funny. He shows up on the community Facebook periodically. People are like, "Oh, Atlas came to say hi." And anyway, apparently this woman, she did not like his visit and thought that he was attacking her dog. So anyway, side note about Atlas. That's the cat I'm trying to bring home. But so this week, Monday started off great. I made great progress on the internship project. Easily got my 3,000 words. You mean your warden, not your cat? I mean, I'm still in charge because I'm still bigger, but it takes me. I have to assert dominance. I will admit to that. So, is her name Karen? Maybe, I don't know. I didn't. That's the other thing. Like, I never saw the post. My friend Stephanie saw it and was like, "Hey, is this Atlas?" And by the time I actually got her message and saw went to the community page, the post had been pulled down. So I don't know. I'm trying to believe that she was acting in good faith, but there is a large part of my brain that's like, this bitch just wanted some attention. So, who knows? Anyway, so yeah, Monday was good. Got a lot of work done, and was feeling good. The project's going very well. I'm really happy with it. As we get a little further along, I'll see about potentially maybe doing some like some teaser readings on the channel or something like that. I got to talk to Chris about that. But then Tuesday rolled around and I got an email from the traffic management office here on the base. They're the ones who will coordinate official travel, which is what my move back to the US will be, because that's part of the process of retiring, is that the military will move you from your last base to your home of selection. So anyway, I got an email from TMO, and the woman at TMO, her name is Yoko Hamaguchi, Yoko-san. She's amazing. Yoko-san is like, hey, so we couldn't get you on the rotator, which is the military contract flight, with your pet. So I've booked you on American Airlines, and she sent me the itinerary, and it's a great itinerary. Like, you know, minimum stops for just the perfect amount of layover time to process customs and all of that kind of stuff. She said the only thing is you have to call American customer service and get make sure that they have room for the cat. Well, that was my entire Saturday or Tuesday. I spent a total of about 5 hours, all told, on hold with American. Event at one point, I did get a hold of a customer service representative, and he was very nice. But he told me that, like, I had to talk to American Airlines Cargo because they handle animal shipments now. And so I tried to get transferred to that department, never could. Ended up resorting to sending them an email. And just like Tuesday night, I just felt totally defeated. I think I got like 100 words on Tuesday just because I had spent all of my time and energy sinking into this, like, this problem of how am I going to get this sweet kitty home from Japan, you know? And I really was like I was genuinely, I felt really defeated. I was like, man, I did not see how it was going to work. And I had been in touch with Yoko-san the whole time. And she had told me, she was like, yeah, if we can't do it on American, we can check the other airlines, but their policies are the same. You know, you're going to have to contact their customer service as well, just to make sure that it's all going to work. And most people are not shipping pets, or are not like allowing pets to be taken as checked baggage like they used to because of COVID restrictions, except for active duty military members. So I think that was part of the problem, is that I'm not sure that everyone I talked to understood that exception existed for active duty military traveling on orders and for like State Department people traveling on orders, even though I said it multiple times. You know, a lot of times whenever you operate outside of someone's like box of this is our normal procedures, you know, things can get confusing or whatever. So anyway, for whatever reason, Tuesday sucked. And I really just felt defeated. And I went back and forth on how I want to tell this story to you guys, but I did promise that I would always be real. So I'm just going to tell you the story the way that I feel it has happened. And it's okay if you disagree with me or don't believe the things that I believe that I'm about to talk about. But this is how it is in my world, in my reality. Okay. I am a very religious person. And one of the things that I believe very deeply in is the power of prayer. And on Tuesday night, I felt so defeated and so like helpless because, you know, leaving Atlas here is not an option, but it genuinely seemed like there was going to be no option, no way for me to get him from Japan to my new home in Virginia. So and that's the other thing too, is that even though I'm a religious person, I have this bad habit of not wanting of trying to fix everything myself and not relying on prayer as much as I should. Even though I genuinely do believe that it is a powerful, powerful thing. So Tuesday night, as I went to bed, I prayed about it. I prayed about my cat, that I would be able to find a way to bring my cat safely from Tokyo to Virginia, and that all would be well with him during that trip, because traveling is very hard on animals. And that, you know, even if I didn't understand exactly how it was going to happen yet, that I would find a way and that everything would be okay. And so on Wednesday, you know, I got another email from Yoko-san. She had checked with Delta Airlines and, you know, given me a possible itinerary with them as well. And the itinerary that Delta had was not going to be nearly as good. It was, multiple stops, over 12 hours in layovers. It would have been even more stressful on not just on Atlas, but on the whole family. And so I really wanted to take that American itinerary. So I had this small feeling, well, let me just try American customer service again. So I tried them again, and I got this call, and this time when I called, I got a recording that said, our wait times are long, which I got that recording last time, but I don't know. For whatever reason, I'm not sure. I don't know if I just didn't hear the offer to call me back or what, but this time they were like, we can call you back, at the number you're calling us on in 20 minutes. And I was like, okay. So I had them call me back, and about 23 minutes later, the representative called me back, and I spoke with a wonderful woman named Kimberly, who, and this is what I told her. I was like, all right, Kimberly, here's my name. I'm just going to let you know, I'm about to be a pain in your neck, and I started in on like the sequence of events that had led me to this phone call. And I got about halfway through, and she's like, ma'am, I just added him to your reservation. You're good to go. I can give you a confirmation number right now. And it was like that. It was handled. Now to me, and I'm sure that there are secular explanations. I'm sure that there are. And maybe you think that I'm foolish for seeing this as a validation of my faith. But really that's kind of what it was for me, is that, because I do believe that, we as people, when we do things to help other people out, we are acting, for the good of everyone. And I believe that can be divinely inspired. So yes, so my prayer was answered, and now I have a confirmation for Atlas. And I have tickets for the whole family, plus Atlas, to get to Virginia. And not only that, on Tuesday, as I was waiting for American to call me back, I got a call from my movers for both my household goods shipment and my unaccompanied baggage shipments. So there are two separate shipments that go. Household goods is like the majority of like furniture and stuff like that. Unaccompanied baggage is a smaller shipment that will get there sooner. And so I was able to get both of those things scheduled. So as I went to bed on Tuesday night, I still felt exhausted. Or not Tuesday, Wednesday night. Oh, and I got my writing in, and the word was flowing. The words were flowing again. Yeah, it is, Charlie. I'm going to put that up here in a minute. But anyway, so as I went to bed, I felt exhausted, but I also felt invigorated, because I was like, holy smokes, I got we accomplished so much today, and I genuinely do believe that I was aided in that. So. Yeah, faith is a beautiful thing, and it gives me a lot of strength. And like I said, I hope I haven't annoyed anyone or offended you by talking about my faith. I understand if you don't believe the same things that I do. I understand if you're rolling your eyes at the answer to my prayer about my cat, but that's what it meant to me, and it was very uplifting. Yeah. So so that was the first half of my week. So. Yeah, and then Thursday was my fly day, and got to go out and do a quick night sortie. It was actually a mission, so we just went back and forth to Tokyo a couple times. I tried to take some pictures, but a lot of times taking pictures from the helicopter is they end up blurry. Sometimes they work, and sometimes they don't. So James says, we came for the whole Casey, faith and awe. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. James. So. Oh wait, no, go away. Okay. And then yesterday was Friday. And let's see, what did I do on Friday? Just more, arranging for now. The next thing that I'm working on is, I forgot to talk about a car. The next thing that I'm working on is trying to get an amendment to my order so that we can bring a Japanese car back with us, which we can only do under certain circumstances. Like the car has to be 25 years old, which sounds like a totally sketchy proposition, but it's different here, you guys. Like the Japanese people take so much better care of their cars in general than Americans do. And they also don't use their cars as often, because almost everyone travels almost everywhere on the trains. They genuinely only use cars as like what we would call a Sunday driver, where they go out literally on Sunday, because it's the only non-work day of the week, where they go out with their family to, do recreational stuff. So Yeah. So big week, big week. But yeah, we're thinking about if we can find the right car, we're going to bring it back with us. And then in addition to that, we're looking at potentially buying a car from a family member. So more to come on that. Nick says, get an 84 Skyline. Yeah, man, if we could. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we can find. Seth wants a Skyline too. What is it with the Skylines? The ones I really like are the little Jimneys. If you guys ever heard of those, it's not Jimmy, it's Jimny. They're made by Suzuki. They're like little miniature SUVs. They're super cute. So, but we'll see. We'll see what we end up with. So let's talk about my internship project. As I said, it is going along very well. Tuesday was a bit of a setback, but I had good word counts on Monday and Wednesday. And so I didn't get too far behind. And the truth is I was ahead to begin with. I had 2 extra days of writing from the first week where really I was just supposed to start last week. So, you know, really I've just gone from 2 days ahead to 1 day ahead, which is, you know, comforting because I want to try and keep some words in the bank. And I've realized that I think as writers, we refine our process with every book that we write. But I just wanted to share like some notes with you guys, some notes with you guys about some of the things that I'm doing. So I am using sprints to write this book. If you're in the Discord server, you can see me on the Writing Sprints channel. You'll see me in there, during my writing time. What seems to be working for me right now is to start with a shorter sprint. I'll start with like a sprint of 10 minutes just to kind of get focused and get in there, and then transition to 20-minute sprints. In a 20-minute sprint, I can usually write about, on average, 500 words. So that works out well for, the math and stuff. So I'm using sprints, and then I'm also tracking the sprints, and I'll show you what that looks like here as soon as I get my little paper up. I have these little, it might be backwards and I apologize for that, but I have these little stickers that came with my planner that I put in there. And then I put all the, I just fill in the dots for each sprint. And then over here on the side, hopefully there's nothing private on here. Okay, I think it's okay. But over here on the side, I'll write down, oh my gosh, this is confusing. I'll write down, you can see 20, 20, 20, and then I finished with 10. And then over here on the hourly portion, I'll record that as well. So it's certainly not necessary, but it's somewhat motivating, I guess, to me to be able to do that. And to kind of it helps me build a picture of how I'm spending that writing time of that workday. As you can see, I'm not really getting started at 8 like I should. It's usually because I'm a little bit late waking up and working out, which is another thing that I've learned. I am far, far more productive if I just knock out a workout in the first thing in the morning, even if it's just 10 minutes, right? Even just 10 minutes worth of, doing yoga or something. For whatever reason, it just flips a switch in my brain. And so that's become my routine on my writing days is, wake up, grab some pre-workout, do a workout, shower, and then sit down and start with my sprints. And then the other thing is in this planner, this is my writing planner. I've shown you guys this before, but like I will keep track of the overall things that I do, the overall word counts for the day and stuff. So, and I've started to add like YouTube stuff in here too. Like you can see on the 14th, I filmed and uploaded my co-authors video with Josh that I did last week. So, which by the way, if you haven't checked that out, you should totally do it. We had so much fun. It's like an hour and we talked for almost an hour and a half because there's just so much to talk about. Josh Hayes, if you're not familiar, Josh is, he was here in the chat. We wrote the Carrie Engage stories together for Jamie Ibsen's We Dare anthologies. And he is one of the founders of Keystroke Medium, which is one of my favorite podcasts and one of the inspirations actually for this channel. So very, very cool stuff. But yeah, the story itself is coming along well. I'm just about to the point where, this is space opera. So one of the things that I'm having to do is do a lot of world building in the first couple of chapters. And I'm going to have to make sure that, when I go back and edit that I make sure that it's not like too data dumpy. But so far, I think I'm pretty happy with it. Hi, Ian. My friend Ian is here and he has a question. So I'm going to side note and come to that. It says, I'm new to your chat, so skip this if you've covered it before, but how does creativity fit into your sprint sessions? Are you writing down the ideas from throughout the night or day, or are you thinking writing at the same time? Is there a method or does it just work for you? That's a really good question. So Ian, I'm going to put that away so I don't have to like look over it. Personally, I've become a plotter. So what that means is that I sit down and I essentially create, I have a whole process that I go through, but I sit down and I essentially create an outline. So I know what I'm going to cover in each individual scene before I sit down to write it. And then when I sit down to do my sprints, and I think this is why it helps me to start with a smaller time period for the sprints. When I sit down to do my sprints, I look at my notes, I look at what I've written before, and then I pretend. Right. I put myself in, I play out the scene in my head. I put myself into the skin of my character, if that doesn't sound too creepy. And I imagine what happens next. And then I write it down. And so that's essentially how that works. And I do that. The beauty of the sprints is that it allows me a finite structured period of time where I can intensely focus on that imagination and putting it onto the screen. And then I stop and I take a break and I reset and then I can do it, again. And so, I've been, with my 10, 20, 20, 20, et cetera. I've been averaging about 5 to 6, 6 to 7. No. How many is that? 6 to 7. 6 to 7 sprints a day has been getting me to my 3,000, my 3,000 mark, which is my daily word count goal. So Nick Steerson says pre-pantser. Yeah, man. I mean, if you need to make up words, sure. But yeah, I hope that, Ian, let me know if that answers your question a little bit. But yes, so I'm doing a lot of world building now, but I'm starting to get to the point where the main characters, so the main character, her world's already been shaken up when we come in, and then we're starting to get to like the first doorway of no return where, shit's going to go down. So Beth wants to know if I count the plotting time in the sprints. I don't actually, Beth. I will use, I mean, I guess I could, but I typically don't. Because I use a different method for plotting. I mean, if you're curious, I got my plotting method that I use is the same one that Sarah Cannon uses. And she's got some phenomenal videos, a whole video series on her channel about how to plot a novel. And that's essentially the same process that I use. I even use her workbook that she offers as a reader magnet if you sign up for her newsletter on her Heart Breathings newsletter. So yeah, I'll literally print out the printable workbook and I'll just sit down and I'll go through that. And so sprinting doesn't work so much for me in terms of that process because it's just sort of a more free flowing process, I guess, if that makes sense. But I will consider it work and I will use it, I will use work time for it. I just got ahead of the game for this particular project because initially that's what that first week was supposed to be was for plotting out the project. But I was so excited about it, I did it early. So there you go. Ian says, looking for tips. I'm sort of an expert. Yeah, no, man, I'm not an expert. I'm constantly learning, but send me a message. And if you're not a member of my Discord, I'll send you an invite and you can come. And if you want, if it would be helpful, you can come use my Writing Sprints channel and use the writer bot to run your own sprints, or you can join in on my sprints as well. That's another thing too, is that if you didn't know, if you want to join in on the sprints, you can always join in, but you can also set notifications to tell you when someone starts a sprint in the channel. So if that's something that you're interested in doing in my Discord server, please feel free. If you need to figure out how, you can type /help, and the bot will give you instructions on how to do that. So yeah, great questions, guys. Thanks. And let's see, was there anything else I want to do? Oh, I lost my page. See, this is the problem with writing down notes. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, so that's pretty much where we're at on the I'm getting is spinning right now. On the video or on the chat? Let me know if you guys, let me know in the chat if you guys are having other issues, technical issues seeing me. So, it doesn't, it's not telling me. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not getting a unstable internet notification. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Beth. It seems like it might be you. So not you, your internet. So you are great. We love you. Okay. Cool. All right. So moving on, speaking of YouTube and videos, let's talk about that for a little bit. You guys, I'm so excited. We have over 100 subscribers. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed. That makes a huge deal to me. 100 subscribers is a big milestone, because that allows me to use the custom URL, which is much easier to remember than the official string of numbers. So now I can use, youtube.com/Casey Ezell Writer Life as my YouTube URL, and incorporate that into newsletters and websites and any place else where I'm trying to spam with links to get people here. So so thank you very much for doing that. Thank you for coming to the videos. Thank you for giving me the Chuck Yeager thumbs up. That guy, because you expect the sound effect, because it's it obviously it helps the channel grow. It plugs into the algorithm, and it gets these videos recommended to more people. So really appreciate the support. I've been doing this for a little over a month at this point, and I've been having a great time, and I've been very happy with, so far it's kind of meeting the goals of what I want to do. But what I'm curious about is if you guys are getting what you want out of the channel. So feel free to let me know in the chat, or if you want to take some time to formulate your thoughts, come to the Discord and post it in the Writer Life Writer Life chat channel. Thanks. On the Discord server there. And let me know your thoughts about, what types of content you'd like to see on the channel, because the overall goal for this whole thing is community, right? And so I want to give you guys what you want. I want to share with you the pieces of my life that you find interesting. And I want to use this as a way of connecting, right? Because like I said, the whole goal is community. And it's all sort of part of my master plan to build a community of friends and fans where we can support one another and talk about books and talk about writing and talk about life and, be each other's cheerleaders for whatever events we have going on in our lives. It's not all about me and my books. I would love to talk about those things, and I would love to have you cheerlead for me for those things, but I want to return the favor and cheerlead for you guys and support you guys in all your endeavors too. So let me know how to do that, right? Let me know, let me know what avenues you guys would like to see me explore as we work towards, building this community together. Right now, just to kind of give you a framework, this is how it exists in my head. Okay. Right now I've kind of got 3 pillars going. The first one is the newsletter. If you're not a member of the Cool Kids Table newsletter, highly recommend that you sign up. Please, please, please sign up. You can have a link to do that on my website, which is www.caseyezell.net. If someone doesn't mind throwing that in the chat, I would appreciate that. But you can sign up for my newsletter there. There's a link. It says get free books. Or get free stories. Once you sign up, you will get a download link for 2 free stories. One is Gilded Cage, which is the very first Diptych story in the Four Horsemen universe. And then the other one is Wicked Angel, which is a short story set in my Psyche of War universe in World War I. In Ypres is a dark story. So heads up. But I think it's beautiful. I love it. So so that's the first thing, is join the newsletter. If you join the newsletter, what you will get is you will hear from me once a week, unless you don't open, and then you get a resend, because that's how it works. So you'll hear from me once a week. You'll also have the opportunity to sign up for my romance circle if that's something that if you're a romance fan and that's something that you're interested in. I have a separate newsletter that goes out every week for romance fans, because the two audiences don't really overlap quite so much. But if that's you, let me know, and we'll get you signed up for that as well. But yes, weekly newsletters. I talk about my life. I talk about writing. I will would love more husband cameos, though. Yeah, he's a little bit camera shy, Seth. So, but maybe one day. Yeah, I talk about writing. I talk about life. I feature my own new work that's coming out, and then the new work of friends of mine that's coming out as well. So you've seen people who've been on the list for a while. I've seen a lot of announcements about new CKP work, new Bane books coming out, projects, promos, giveaways. And in every newsletter at the bottom, I always have some free promotions where you can go click on that link and check out what other authors are offering, essentially as reader magnets. Sign up for their newsletters, get their free work, check them out, and see if maybe you find a new favorite. That's one of my favorite features of the newsletter, is the opportunity to offer that to you guys, because I genuinely believe that more reading is a good thing, right? More stories are a good thing. So, let's rising tide lifts all boats. Let's flood this place, right? Maybe I just mixed my metaphors a little bit too much. You get the idea. So that's the newsletter. In addition, in the newsletter, you'll get the link to the Discord server that I talk about all the time. Discord is my favorite way of real-time communication with my community. So unlike, I love these live streams. These are a lot of fun too, but while I can get your feedback over here in the chat, it's not truly a conversation, because it's my talking head on the video, and then you guys in the comments, which is great. But what I love about Discord is that it's much more of a conversation, to include there are voice chat rooms in there that are free for people to use. People can go in there and talk to each other on voice to voice or video to video even. But then there's also all the message boards. Which works great when you're 12 hours out of phase with everyone like I am. So I can post a message and come, go to bed and come back, and, people can see it when normally you guys would be asleep when I have something to say. So, yeah, love the Discord server. Please come check that out. Again, you can access the link via signing up for my newsletter. That's where I do my writing sprints, which you guys are welcome to join. That's where you can ask questions of this, for me to answer during these live streams, which I highly recommend you guys do, so that I have something to talk about every week. We've got Maya Clev is doing journal prompts in there. If journaling is something that you're interested in, that's been a lot of fun. And Maya, I appreciate you. If you're listening, I really appreciate you doing that. We've had conversations in there about food, about music, about what's going on. There's even a place to post open calls for anthologies. So, for those of you who are interested in submitting for open calls, we've got a spot for that. Good point, Dan. Yes. And if I don't know anything about I don't know anything about Discord. I know a little bit, but if you don't know anything about Discord, I do have helpers in the channel. You can ask questions, my fixers, of which Dan is one. and they're fantastic. They're happy to answer your questions at any time and help you get set up. So please come check us out. Please join in the community there and help us to. I'd love to see just a little bit more activity in there. I mean, it's not inactive, but I'd love to see it more active, because I think we've got a really good, interesting group of people, and and that's sort of the heart of our community, right? Let's interact, let's connect. And then, so that's the second pillar of this community concept that I'm working with. And then the third one is here on YouTube. So I'm doing the live videos every week. And I've been uploading another video every week. I am a little late on doing it. Well, I uploaded one this week, but that one sort of counted for last week. So I'm still working that out. But there will be another video very soon. I'm probably going to talk about kind of my goals for the upcoming year, because you guys, Wednesday's my birthday. I'm going to be 45 years old, and I know I shouldn't share that information, but I mean, who am I kidding? The Chinese hacked O&M years ago, so they've got all my info. So anyway, yeah, my birthday is on Wednesday, and I am like a little kid about my birthday. I love my birthday. I love the idea of having a day where people just wish you well all day. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention one thing. I hope you guys will forgive me, because I don't mean to make it sad. But I also, March 23rd is also an important day for me otherwise, because that is the day that I lost my best friend Tammy back in 2003. She was the co-pilot on Komodo 11, which was a Air Force HH-60 that crashed in the mountains in Afghanistan while doing night aerial refueling on their way to a rescue mission to pick up a couple of Afghan children who had been injured. So I just want to take a moment and remember her. And if you, I mean, I remember her always, but on Wednesday, I will be taking a moment to remember her. And I would love it if you guys would, maybe just do the same, consider doing the same on Wednesday. So Tammy was a great, great person. I loved her dearly. She was, I mean, I'll be honest with you, she was kind of a bitch, but then again, so am I. And I think that's why we were such good friends, right? Like, she was a tough chick, and big sci-fi fantasy fan, huge, I think we first became friends over, of course, Anne McCaffrey's Dragons. But she loved, she loved Heinlein, and she loved Laurell K. Hamilton. She actually introduced me to Laurell K. Hamilton, both her books and The Woman. She was a real cool chick. So I miss her a ton. Gosh, I can't believe it's been really, really long. So anyway, so yeah, like I said, I didn't mean to bring it down, but I did want to mention her because, I love her still. So, thanks, Ian. I appreciate you. Yeah. So just raise a glass on Wednesday. That's all I'm asking. So, cool. So that's pretty much it. Let me, as promised, I'm going to head over to the Discord server. I'm not sure. There weren't any questions earlier, but I'm going to check and see if any have popped up. If you want to ask one, get in there. So right now there aren't any questions in the Discord server, but that's okay. If you get some in there, we'll be happy to answer them next week. And then, we can have a conversation. So you guys, thank you again for coming out and checking out my live stream. It's always a blast to talk to you. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the love and support that you guys have given to me with building this channel, building this community, buying my books, reviewing my books, talking about my books, all of those things. They make me feel very loved, and I appreciate that, and I love all of you back. So I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a wonderful my birthday week. I always laugh because Casey Moores, if you guys know him, he and I, we both commemorate Tammy's loss on the 23rd. But he's, at a certain point in the past, he was like, "Listen, on the 23rd we'll remember her, but I know that's your birthday, so we're going to celebrate your birthday for the whole rest of the week." I was like, deal. So my birthday week's coming up. And yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Uh-oh, someone's typing in the Discord. We'll see if they get it in before I close the chat, close the video. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, so yeah. All right, guys. Well, I am gonna, I think, cut it off here, and probably gonna record another video. So it's like I said, thanks for coming. Please give me a like if you haven't. Consider subscribing if you like this content, and let me know what kind of content you want to see. Get in touch with me through Discord, get in touch with me on Messenger if we're Facebook friends, get in touch with me, join my newsletter, and then hit reply to my newsletter, send me an email. That's a great way to get in touch with me, because those all get, come to my inbox. So, all right. Love you guys. We'll talk to you later.